Copycat Sylveon paired with Boomburst Noivern was almost able to make day 2 at the most recent European Regional Championship. We're going to be trying out this team and seeing how well it can perform. This is Joe's Sun team featuring a crazy combination with Copycat Boomburst as a strategy. Let's break it down. First, we have the Groudon with the Drought ability and the Assault Vest with the Terra Fire. The Drought able to summon the Sun, and the Terra Fire able to be a defensive type against Grass and Ice type attacks, while being able to power up its Fire type moves and able to do quite a bit with the Fire Punch and the Heat Crash. The Heat Crash is able to do a ton of damage to stuff that Groudon is heavier against, especially in the 120 base power. But Fire Punch is able to hit Pokemon such as the Raging Bulls that decide to Terra, Cali Ice that decides to Terra, so you can actually do more damage to those Pokemon. And then because you have Assault Vest boosting your special defense, you're able to have multiple ground type moves. So if you miss Blades, at least you have a double power in Stomping Tantrum, which can be very strong. And a single target ground move doesn't hurt when there's a bunch of Wide Guard in the format. Next Pokemon we have is going to be the Lilligant with the Chlorophyll, Focus Sash, Terra Ghost. I think we all know how Lilligant plays. You have the After You. Normally we would see it with the Torkoal, but opting for the Groudon instead. This one just being able to help out with the close combat to threaten Pokemon like Terapagos, the Leaf Blade, which is able to hurt the Water Shifu, and it's kind of nice not having Solar Blade, which is effective in the sun, but if you don't have the sun because there's Rain Dance, a bunch of ways to change weather, can be pretty bad. So having a consistent grass type move instead. Sleep Powder, of course, for the chance that you can really just shut down, and it's what makes Lilligant so powerful and fast. Chlorophyll Mon with Sleep Powder is super threatening to a lot of teams. And then After You, because you can utilize Lilligant's fast speed to allow your partner to be able to outspeed your opponents and dish out a lot of damage. Next Pokemon we have is the Incineroar with the Intimidate and the Safety Goggles with the Terra Ghost. You pretty much know the drill with Incineroar, how strong it is with the Intimidate ability of really bulky Pokemon in general. But this one, a little bit of a different set. It's running Partner Shot and Fake Out, which are pretty standard moves for the Incineroar. Flare Blitz makes sense on a Sun team because you're able to dish out some really heavy damage with the Flare Blitz in the Sun, boosting the power. And then this one's running Protect, which is really something unique here because we don't really see Protect Incineroar too much, but having a way to position, especially when you don't have many Protect mons already, with 3 Pokemon on this team already not running Protect, and then Incineroar, usually a Pokemon that doesn't carry Protect, would be the 4th one. I think it's nice to have 3 Protects on the team, and this Incineroar having Protect allows it to maneuver and stall out turns of like Trick Room and more, so always very nice to see. Next Pokemon we have is the Raging Bolt with the Photosynthesis, able to take advantage of the sun and get a special attack booster. With Citrus Berry, this one's a really bulky Raging Bolt here, and it's able to take attacks while threatening some pretty heavy damage. Volt Switch is able to maneuver positions. Thunderclap for the priority, of course. It helps out against Urshifu, especially like Torn Urshifu with Rain Dance threat, so you can threaten a Urshifu if it's not like a Terra Grass, and that's really important. Draco Meteor for the firepower, and Protect to keep itself around, with the Terra Fairy option to help out against the Dragon type attacks out there like Miraidon, especially if they lock in a Draco Meteor, Terra Fairy, and then you are immune to that Draco Meteor. Next Pokemon we have is one of the stars of the show, the Noivern with the Telepathy and the Cover Cloak ability, with Terra Steel as a defensive option for Fairy type attacks as well as Ice type moves. Noivern is an interesting Pokemon. It doesn't have the best stats in the world, but has a pretty decent speed stat, base 123. It's not the fastest, it's still underspeeding a lot of like Xian Pao, like the Zacians, like the Calc Shadow Riders, the Miraidons, Koraidons, but overall Noivern is pretty disruptive to a lot of the standard Pokemon such as the Rillaboom, the Urshifu, and the Incineroar because they can't really touch Noivern for too much damage. This Noivern's a really cool set where it's supportive and able to set up Tailwind, which is really nice, and set up a cool strategy with the Sylveon. With Tailwind support and taunts to help disrupt to prevent the spores from Moongus, the Trick Rooms that could be available, Calm Minds from like Terapagos. Super Fang is a really nice move because it's able to chip away your opponent's team to set up for a KO with Groudon, Sylveon, or more, which is very helpful. And then Boomburst, which is a very interesting move here. It is a normal type move that affects the entire field, and it really allows for an interesting combination with the Sylveon because what the idea is you go for the Boomburst with Noivern, you don't really do that much damage, but then you have the Sylveon, you go for the Copycat, you trace the Boomburst, you're immune to it with Noivern because you have Telepathy, so you dodge your own attack, and then the Boomburst is able to affect the opponent's side and allow Sylveon to do some massive damage. So that is the idea of this Noivern paired with the Sylveon. And otherwise, it's just supposed to set up Tailwind, a switch into Urshifu, which is very nice, as well as Rillaboom, and can be very disruptive into a lot of the common Terapagos teams, because Super Fang plus Taunt is very disruptive for a lot of those mons that would like to pivot around. Final Pokemon is the Sylveon with the Pixelate and the Throat Spray. We've already talked about the strategy. This one's Terra Ghost, so you can ignore the Fake Out, which is helpful. And you can just go for the Hyper Voice with that Throat Spray to power up its special attack for the next turn. And this Sylveon Eevee spread is very interesting, but it is max speed on the Sylveon with a bold nature. And the reason is you want to be able to take attacks with Sylveon because his physical defense isn't that great. You're still doing pretty good damage because of the Throat Spray, assuming you're able to get a boost. And the idea of the speed on the Sylveon is so you can outspeed Calc Shadow Rider, because you actually do need that speed investment to outspeed Calc Shadow Rider, which is super crucial. So you can actually dish out damage and threaten even with a Terra Ghost Shadow Ball if necessary. The Hyper Voice just able to do a lot otherwise, because spread fairy type moves are very valuable in the format. They're bulkier than Fluttermane, which is nice, and because of the Sun from Groudon, able to take attacks better from Urshifu and dish out quite a bit of damage. Overall, this team a bit gimmicky, but you do have quite a bit of threats, especially the Groudon with that Assault Vest, able to take attacks, dish out a lot of damage with its ground type and fire type attacks. The Lilligant with the Sleep Powder and After You shenanigans, the Noivern that can be disruptive, and if you are able to set up that position, it is going to be a Boomburst plus the Sylveon combination, which can do a lot of damage. It's very hard to set up, but if you are able to, it can do a lot because not too many resist fairy in the format, and does do quite a bit, especially again fairy plus ground is one of the best coverage options, because the moves that resist fairy are usually hit super effectively by ground, the poison, the fire, and the steel resistances. If you would like to check out the details of the team and the creator, they'll be linked in the description down below. Zacian with Ogerpon, Heartflame, Regidrago, Tornadus, Farigiraf, and Urshifu. Okay, this is pretty bad because this is usually Rain Dance Torn on this team, which means Groudon definitely not going to have as much of a fun time here. I do have a Fairy type, which is good against the Regidrago. Okay, I gotta think about this very carefully. I definitely bring Ground on the matchup. It's needed for Zacian. Although the Zacian does have Terra Ground, which actually makes this a bit awkward. I think I go with Raging Bolt because I need the pressure against the Urshifu Torn combo, because if I don't have pressure against the Urshifu Torn combo, it gets really ugly. I think I bring these two. I want to bring Incineroar for Zacian and Ogerpon Heartflame, but I feel like the mon I need the most help with is a switch into Surging Strikes, because I need Sylveon around. And I think Noivern covers Ogerpon Heartflame as a switch in. I think we'll try it out and see. The problem is I have to deal with Regidrago's Giant Energy potentially just sweeping my team. If I don't have Tailwind, it's already going to be pretty rough for that. I could have Lilligant, but Lilligant's not consistent as a Torn Ursh, which I'm expecting to lead probably, or maybe like Torn Drago, just because of how strong it is into my rain team. So let's see. Regidrago Torn. Okay, Sylveon's fantastic here. Sylveon's fantastic. I'll take this. I lead Sylveon plus the Raging Bolt, and I think this is a pretty good spot. I can just click. It'd be funny if I click Copycat. The Regidrago decides, hey, I'm not going to Dragon Energy. I'm just going to swap out into Torn, and then I have Tailwind up as well. But I don't think I need that necessarily. I think I'm just going to go for a Hyper Voice here and get the damage. They could switch into Zacian for the Regidrago, but it looks like they're not going to choose to. All right, beautiful. They're just going to Terra with the Regidrago into Terra Ghost. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Because I can still Hyper Voice, threaten the Regidrago, and what are they going to do? Terra Ghost, Terra Blast, or Earth Power my Sylveon? That just does no damage. So get my Throat Spray active, and this is a pretty strong position, I think. They actually just go for Bleak Wind for damage. Okay, so they don't Tailwind, so this is actually better for me. This is better for me. Sylveon takes some damage, but we're pretty comfortable here. Speed drop, a little bit annoying, but not the biggest deal. They do go for the Terra Blast, which is smart of them. Okay. Sylveon takes a lot. That's fine. And we get the Hyper Voice off into the Regidrago. Nice. We leave another Terror Ghost Terror Blast. I feel like we do. If we do, the play is always to Thunderclap, the Torn, and Hyper Voice once again. If it's Zacian, Urshian the back, I should be fine as long as they can't. Yeah, I think I just go for a Thunderclap into the Torn, and I think I go for Hyper Voice. If Terra Blast comes out, this is Tailwind or Bleak Wind. If it's Tailwind and the Drago knocks out Sylveon, it's really bad, but I think I could probably play around it. I really don't want to Terra Raging Bolt if I don't have to. I was thinking of like, is my Ursh plan like really bad if this doesn't work out? But I think I can still pull out something. Oh, Ogerpon comes in. Okay. Protect? No. They Terra Blast? Oh, they Draco Meteor. That's fine. So I lose Raging Bolt, but I was okay with losing Raging Bolt as long as I got rid of Regidrago. And I do get rid of Regidrago with the Hyper Voice. So that's actually pretty good for me. Okay, I'll definitely take this. Yeah, I get some good chip damage into Drago. Drago goes down. All right. Okay. I go Noivern now. I mean, it's still really awkward, but it's playable. I guess now, I guess I could have, well, I don't know. I still want this Fire Terra on the route on if possible, and I do think it's still the best move. I'm not sure what they're going to click here. I think my best play is just to Boomburst and Protect. Unironically, I think it is. Because I need to KO the Torn quickly. If I can KO the Torn, I think I'm in a fine spot against the rest of the team, but we'll see. They do go for Tailwind. This should be like Tailwind, Yvesangelist, and the Sylveon, I imagine. Wood Hammer works too to cover for the Groudon switch, okay. So I do get a Boomburst. I hope this two-shot's Torn. I really need this to two-shot Torn, actually. Close. I think it does. All right, we're going to Boomburst once again. The Torn has Protect, but they usually don't carry Protect. I feel like it's just Taunt and a Noivern here, but we'll see. I guess since Sylveon is probably, I don't know, is this Bleakwind coming out? I mean, if it's Bleakwind, that's fine. I get to KO on the Torn. That means they can't Rain Dance anymore, and I should be okay. I guess I'm just going to Copycat with Sylveon, because if Sylveon... Because I don't think they have any way to KO the Noivern unless they Terra the Ogerpon, which I think would be a really strange Terra for them. They go for Bleakwind, dodge on Sylveon, but that doesn't really matter too much, okay? Wait, they went for the Ivy Cudgel into the Noivern? Wait, Noivern survives. The crit even. Does Sylveon survive the Boomburst? It does, so I get a Boomburst back and I get to KO the Torn and the Ogerpon. Wait, that's amazing for me, actually. I really needed that. Because Torn surviving was really bad. It had Rain Dance set up. I think I might have actually still lost to Zacian because I think they run Terra Ground, Terra Blast too. But they got greedy. They're like, okay, I want the Noivern gone. Unfortunately, I don't have a flying type attack. If I had a flying type attack, I would, but no, it's full on support. It's Ursh in the bag. Oh, wait, if it's Ursh, I might have been fine regardless, but okay. Gonna go for Super Fang into the Ursh, and I'm gonna go for Hyper Voice. There's no way you don't target down the Sylveon here. Yeah, there's like no world you don't target the Sylveon down. I guess I should have went for Boomburst, but I was worried if they randomly protected with the Ursh. But then again, I guess you can't really do that if Noivern dresses a Tailwind, so Super Fang might have been greedy here. But I do connect, so this should allow me to KO the Ursh safely with Groudon. Well, it Precipice Blades hits. I guess I could go for Storming Tantrums, and Storming Tantrums pretty safe. There's no reason to Terra Groudon, right? No, there's no reason to ever Terra Groudon. I guess I didn't need my Terra because they didn't bring the Zacian, which I guess it is a Groudon team to be fair, but still super surprising because Raging Bolt and Sylveon were pretty big threats, and not bringing Zacian I think is crazy to me when those are really big threats to Ursh, especially with Sun. So I'm gonna go for Tailwind and I'm gonna go for Stomping, I guess. Okay, so last turn Tailwind, so I should be able to secure the game this way. They go for Surging Strikes and the Groudon. Yeah, now I have the game secured, I think. Because they're just not doing enough damage. I get the Tailwind. I'm probably not KOing the Ursh here, but any attack I can follow up with will KO afterward. Actually, wasn't this Ursh Choice Band on this team, if I'm not mistaken? I think it was. I do think it was. I'm able to get Stomping Tantrum off into the Ursh. Yeah, I just barely missed a knockout, but that's fine. I don't think Aqua Jet KOs Noivern anyway, so I'm just gonna taunt the Ursh and just Stomping Tantrum, because that means I don't ever have to play like a Boomburst mind game. But yeah, like taunting the Ursh, Stomping Tantrum because our Tailwind set up perfectly when theirs expired. KO the Ursh, goodbye Ursh. This is not how I expected the game to go, but I will gladly take it. I will gladly take it. Get the Copycat Boomburst strategy. Sure. Like, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Rory Moon, Urshifu, Landis Incarnate, Calyx Ice Rider, the Ogerpon Heartflame, and Moongus. All right, we have the Tang team that did really well at the San Antonio Regional Championship. This is going to be tough because Landis is scary. Calyx Ice Rider is pretty demonic for the team, so there's a lot that could go wrong here. I do want to bring Incin, or do I want to bring... It's going to be tough, man. Ogerpon Heartflame is such a tough mon for this team, I feel. Like, sure, we can rely on Groudon Terra, and I probably have to. There's not really much I can do about it, but the problem is if you Terra Groudon, the Landers Incarnate gets to roam around, and that Landers is Terra Water, so it's going to be hard to actually pressure it. I might bring the Lilligant, probably not. I think I want to bring Incin. Can I lead Incin Groudon? I think I could probably with this team. I was debating about leading Noivern, but I think I want to have Noivern in the back in case I need a switch. I think I'm going to bring Incin Groudon lead because it's pretty good offensively against my opponent's team. Sylveon and Noivern in the back. Like, you might be thinking why I don't bring Raging Bolt here, and the problem with Raging Bolt is like, one, it's against the Cali Ice, which is already scary, but the problem with it is that redirection does, like, they have so many ways to redirect the Bolt that it just doesn't really matter too much to me, even with the Terra Wars, because I don't have a spread move. Okay, Groudon, Incineroar versus Urshifu and the Raging Bolt. That's fine, actually, or the Roy Moon. I wish I led just Noivern and Sylveon. I really wish I just led Noivern and Sylveon. Okay. I think my play here is just to go out into Noivern. I kind of want to double. I want to double out. Body Shot's a bit greedy here, and I don't really need it. You know, I'm going to go Sylveon, and I'm going to go Noivern. I think this is Surging Strikes Tailwind. Maybe they go for a knockoff for Acrobatics. Not the worst case, I guess, because Noivern's Covert Cloak doesn't even matter in this matchup. I don't really think there's anything I could really see it helping. So let's see. Bring out the Sylveon and the Noivern. They might just double protect here, fearing the fake out play. Perfect. Perfect. Nice. I've gotten a really good position where the sun is up. What's also cool about having the sun up actually is that the Roy Moon didn't pop the boost energy, which means Acrobatics is super weak right now. So I have a few plays I can go for. Tailwind, of course. I could go for Boomburst, Hyper Voice, KO. But I think I always just Tailwind, because the only way they stop myself from getting Tailwind is they Tailwind with the Roy Moon, and then they go for a taunt with Ursh into the Noivern. So I think I always just Hyper Voice here and Tailwind. Looks like we see a Terra on their side. Is this Roy Moon and the Terra flying? Because it doesn't do much damage. Ursh in the water? Okay. They still take a bunch of damage with the Ursh, and like certain strikes in the sun is just like, okay, it's gonna do a chunk to Sylveon, since this is bold Sylveon, but it's not like crazy bulky. Certain strikes. Okay. Yeah, like it still does a lot, but we're still pretty comfortable. We also eliminate the Roaring Moon for free, which is also pretty nice. All right, here's a Tailwind. Beautiful. And we get a Hyper Voice off and KO the Roaring Moon. Excellent. Unfortunately, we did a lot less to the Ursh than I would have wanted, but this is still pretty decent. Because the Cali Ice can't Terra anymore out of its weakness to my Groudon. It's probably Ogerpon, Heartflame, and Cali Ice. Cali Ice should always come in now. If Cali Ice comes in, what do I want to do? I just want to click... Probably just Super Fang into it, realistically. Do I want to Super Fang, though? Or do I want to go for the Ursh? The Ursh is kind of a big problem. They're definitely Surging Strikes the Sylveon and Glacial Lance. I wish we did more to the Ursh, but that's fine. I could taunt. I need damage in the Ursh, though. That's the problem. I need damage in the Ursh. I think I'm gonna Boomburst, and I'm just gonna go for Hyper Voice. I'll sack both if I need to. Oh, I was not expecting to detect. This might work, but this might also... Oh, they don't protect it. Okay. Oh, I'll turn Tailwind. That makes sense. Although, didn't they go for Tailwind? So this doesn't really change much. I guess they want to stall out the sun. Ooh, which actually is necessary because I need that to beat Ursh. Okay. And I wish I had like Copycat priority right now. That'd be so nice. Okay. Turns a Tailwind. I guess. He turns a sun. That's a problem. I think I always just go instant here. And I Hyper Voice. If they go for Trick Room, that's fine. I actually don't mind Trick Room going up. Because I think the Groudon will be faster than the Urshifu under Trick Room. So I'm bringing out Incineroar. We have Fake Out Pressure the next turn. But also, I think what's important is I can stall out my Groudon being brought in. They go for Surging Strikes. This should be in the Sylveon. Oh, they targeted the Noivern slot. Wait, so I get a Hyper Voice because I'm definitely faster than the Cali Ice, I think. Because I'm like max speed Sylveon. Well, bold nature, but max speeds. Which is still pretty big here. Wait, that's actually really good for me. Yeah, because look at the damage into the Ursh. That's huge. And we see the Glacial Lance. Okay. Yeah. Oh, it's going to come down to the last Pokemon, but I think this is probably all right. I'm going out in Noivern. Did I Terra Ghost, Boomburst, and Flare Blitz? Yeah, they're definitely going to protect on the last turn of... They should protect, right? I mean, my play is just to always fake out the Cali Ice. And I think it's just taunt the Ursh. Yeah, they go for detect. So I'm assuming it's double detect here. Okay. Oh, the next few turns are going to be so scary. Went for the Taunt and Ursh so it couldn't detect the next turn in case it decided to KO the Instant on a hard aggressive read, and they didn't protect for some reason. Sun and Tailwinds fade out, which is pretty massive here. Do you think that -2 Aqua Jet KOs Incineroar? Because I could go for Flare Blitz, but that probably doesn't KO Cali even after the Sun boost. This is gonna be so rough endgame wise, because Cali, actually I don't know how I'm winning this endgame now that I think about it. I think it's just Flare Blitz to Cali, and I think I Boomburst. Oh no, actually no, I Super Fang the Cali, because if I get the damage into Cali, wait, they didn't oh, they don't have Aqua Jet. I'm dumb. All right, I think this is still fine. A Surging Strike to my Noivern, I guess, to cover for a Terra. My Instant is faster than the Cali, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, no, no, it does. Yeah. Okay. Okay, that was a bad play by me. I completely forgot they didn't have Aqua Jet, so I could have actually went for like Tailwind Flare Blitz. I could have went for a lot of different plays than I did initially. But I guess sometimes the dumb play, when you forget about it, works out. Yeah, I completely forgot they didn't have Aqua Jet. They run Taunt on this team. Landorus comes. Oh, it's Landorus last. Okay, no, I'm actually really happy about that. All right. So I'm faster than the... Okay, I can go for Flare Blitz into the Ursh. Actually, I guess I want to... Do I want to Terra to Instant? I think I always Terra to Instant. Because, like, I don't Terra Groudon. Terra Groudon's bad. Terra Steel on Noivern doesn't help here. So I guess I'm going to go for Flare Blitz into the Lando and Boomburst. No, that's bad if the Ursh protects. I think I just Flare Blitz and I go for Tailwind. Yeah, because if they detect, that's fine. Because I get the second Tailwind up, so that means Groudon outspeeds the Lando now. And like Lando can only KO one of these mods. I don't know if they can KO the Noivern with Sludge Bomb. I guess we'll see. Because this Noivern actually has a bunch of special defense. Okay, they did, which is fine. I get to go Groudon and... I mean, I could still very easily lose this, but we'll see. I'm going to go for a Parting Shot into the Lando, I think, and I'm going to go for a... I guess a Heat Crash and Ursh since style KO. Like, I don't think they're going to go for Sandsear. I think they're going to go for Earth Power. So what my logic is, I'm hoping that I get the... I don't want the single target Earth Power to like two-shot the Groudon here. So I'm going to go for Parting Shot to stall out the instant. So they have to respect the instant Flare Blitz and Sun as well. I get a Parting Shot off into the Lando. This means -1 Lando, and that means Earth Power and Sandsear are doing a lot less to Groudon. I think it should be Earth Powering here, but... Oh, they actually did greet the Sandsear. I mean, I get rewarded, but... I guess it just depends on how much damage they were doing. Because I couldn't tell. But now I can Flare Blitz and Heat Crash safely. And I don't have to Terra. Weird game. Weird game. I don't think Earth Power was doing enough to two-shot there, though. I think it's kind of correct in a way. But that was just silly. The fact that I forgot that the Ursh doesn't have Aqua Jet. So I could probably like... I could have probably went for a Boomburst play if I really, really wanted to. Or the Tailwind Flare Blitz might have worked out because I don't know if the Ursh had enough HP where Instant went down to the Flare Blitz recoil. I just don't know. Miraidon, Iron Hands, Volcarona, or Shifu with the Xianpao and Choreograph. All right. Always a scary game to deal with the Miraidon. Always have to respect that mod. I don't have exactly great pivots here. I guess since they don't have Tailwind, I could actually just lead the Lilligant plus the Groudon here. I actually do struggle a lot with Lilligant Groudon by itself, so I think I'm will lead Lilligant Groudon here. I think in the back, I'd probably want Incin. It's good into Volcarona and then Intimidating Iron Hands, and probably the Sylveon is the back. I think. I'm trying to figure this out. Noivern without Terra is not that great. Tailwind's nice, but it's just really underwhelming otherwise. I mean, the weather control's nice. Dealing with the Urshish is going to be pretty rough. We'll see. I do have, I guess, a big threat of the Solar Blade into the Ursh slot if I need to. We're going to see Xianpao Ursh. Okay. Against Groudon Lilligant. You know what they say in this world. You know what they say in this world. So I could Terrafire here. Terrafire isn't a bad play by any means. It's the safe play. Or I could play completely risky and just click Precipice Blades and Sleep Powder, and then next turn after you Precipice Blades again. And assuming I have both, I can KO. Oh, right, I'm Leaf Blade on this team, so I guess I could KO the Ursh if I want to. Only one of these can be Scarf. I actually, you know what? Incin's a pretty fair play, and Leaf Blade the Ursh, because they gave me the Sword of Ruin. This allows me to play around Icicle Crash on the Marite, or Icicle Crash on the POW into the Groudon, doing a bunch of damage without having to use my Terra. We're gonna see Terra on their side. What Terra is coming out? Ursh? Or is this Xianpao for Stellar Terra? Ursh. This should be Terra Stellar. Okay. Well, I get the Leaf Blade, and because they gave me Sword of Ruin, I'm pretty sure this KOs. Unless it's Focus Sash. Pow protects. Perfect. This might be perfect turn. Leaf Blade? Oh, why are you... Okay, so it's not Sash Pow. Interesting. I mean, that's fine for me. I can close combat the Pow the next turn. They use their Terra. Okay. Turning strikes to Incin. I don't know. Do they have Farrig in the back? Trying to figure out if they have Farrig in the back, but isn't my best play just a Flare Blitz to POW? I Leaf Blade? I close combat, if anything. I could close combat to POW. I think I'd rather close combat to Ursh, though. Because there's a chance POW switches out in Volk, but it looks like Ursh is switching out. Don't tell me this is Volk and I got the slots wrong. I got the slots wrong. Okay. Let's comment to Volk. That did a lot of damage, actually. Okay. It is Helmet, though. That's pretty bad. All right, so I lose my Lilligant, but we get the Xianpao. Although I don't know if this is a favorable trade, and I highly doubt it is. Just got the read wrong. Oh, right, it did more because of the Sword of Ruin. I was like, that close combat did a lot of damage for a Rocky Helmet one. All right, we get rid of the POW. I was really thinking the POW would switch and the Ursh would detect. That's what I really thought was going to happen. Because I know you fear Fake Out in that position, but I thought Volk would come in and then you could threaten the Heat Wave, but that was not the case. We'll go Groudon, we'll go Sylveon. They still have a Miraidon, which is going to be really tough to deal with. And looky who it is. That is a Miraidon. I mean, this should never be an electric move, right? This should always be a Draco Meteor. I'm just hoping that Groudon has enough bulk to survive, I guess, the attack here. And I can go for Precipice Blades and Hyper Voice and hope I KO. I think that's my only hope at this point. Because I don't think they ever target Sylveon. I feel like targeting Sylveon would be super risky. I guess you could... Yeah, like if you Volt out the Sylveon... I don't know. That just seems risky if I protect Precipice Blades, but let's see. I can't protect Groudon and Scout for the move. I gotta go for the Terra. I will Terra Fire because it allows me to resist the Volcarona attack. Also, you should never Electric with the Groudon, I think, in this spot. I think you'd rather just Draco Meteor. I would have probably doubled out the Ursh just to scout for, like, the Terra. There's no way you went for that greedy play. There's no way you went for that greedy play. Okay. Wait, but that wasn't Specs damage, because Specs would have obliterated me. What damage was that? E-Wave dodge is pretty nice. On Sylveon, doesn't really change much. Because it wasn't KOing. Okay, what's awkward is I was actually kind of hoping that the Volcarona survived because I kind of needed to get the Hyper Voice with the Throat Spray into the Volcarona. I think Volcarona realizes, or my opponent now realizes based on the Volcarona damage that I'm Assault Vest. But there really isn't much I can do here. But if what Miraidon item is this? Because Volt Switch should have done way more to Sylveon. Is this a Assault Vest Miraidon or something? It's definitely not Specs. I feel like Specs would have obliterated me. I mean, I'm already risking a lot anyway. I'm going to go for Precious Blades in case this is Discharge Terra Electric Miraidon, because I would lose that way. And I'm just going to Hyper Voice. They go for Electro Drift. Don't tell me this isn't a Sylveon. Also, why are they not? Oh, they Stellar Terra'd. I'm dumb. I'm dumb. They Stellar Terra'd. But even then, they just have refused to touch the Groudon slot, which I get the Blades off and KO the Miraidon. Okay. Again, I don't think the Heat Wave miss matters. The Volcarona being defensive means that Heat Wave was not KOing Sylveon because it has really good special defense. I don't care if it's sun boosted unless you crit or you burn me potentially with a high roll, maybe. But yeah, that just wasn't enough damage. I completely forgot about the Stellar Terror turn 1. But this is not how I expected the game to go. Dialga, Ting-Lu, Cresselia, Ogerpon, Wellspring, Galarian, Zapdos, and Raging Bolt. This is a very unique team. Also, the Dialga sprite just looks so weird. I haven't seen Dialga sprite in like... Have I seen Dialga sprite? I probably have faced at least one Dialga. But I don't know. Alright, Groudon's pretty good here, of course. Groudon is putting a lot of pressure. Cresselia is actually kind of annoying. Gotta figure this out. Sylveon's pretty good. They do have a few fairy weaknesses across the board. Noivern's pretty strong. I think I do want to bring Noivern plus to Sylveon. What would I want in the back? Because I'm not sure if I want Instant. Instant's not necessary. It does help, I guess, with Ogerpon if I need to, as well as a switch to Cresselia. But I don't know if I want that or if I want... I mean, Ting-Lu's pretty fantastic. I mean, not Ting-Lu. Lillian's pretty fantastic as well offensively. Tough decisions. I think I'm gonna go with Sylveon plus Noivern though. I have Groudon in the back. Groudon's just really good. Do I have to Terra Groudon? Only if the Ogerpon gets out of hand, and I think I bring Lilligant. I could lead Lilligant right away, but I don't. I want to see what their reaction is because I want to see like what are they leading against it. Because sure, I could lead Groudon plus Lilligant, but I have no idea if there's like, okay, I have some counterplay to this. And it's like, okay, I wish I'd known that earlier. I think Noivern and Sylveon's not a bad setup either because they have a lot of fairy weeks on their team. So I think this is still pretty worth it. Like, I don't want to lose because of the Sleep Powder Mind game. Like, if they give me something like Galarian Zapdos plus Ting-Lu, I'd say that's pretty good. I'd say that's pretty good. Is this coaching stuff? I'm gonna Super Fang and I'm gonna protect, I think, the Sylveon. They had to respect Sylveon. Sylveon's a threat. I want to see if there's Terras involved here before I go for like anything crazy. I could go for Tailwind, but I would like to chip into Ting-Lu because Ting-Lu seems like the most annoying Pokemon, especially just coaching. It's Scarf on the Zapdos. Okay, good to confirm. I get a big Super Fang off into the Ting-Lu. Rock Slide. That's actually kind of annoying. That does a decent amount to the Noivern. That did a lot actually to the Noivern. What the heck? That was a lot of damage. Okay, I should leave a Galarian Zapdos attack though. I don't know if I want to use my Terra to get rid of these two and then lose to the Wellspring in the back. As much as I want to do Boomburst strats here, I think it's just better to go for Tailwind and Hyper Voice. They go for Brave Bird, which we'll take. Yes, Bold Sylveon actually taking that better. We might actually survive the Rock Slide. We got the Tailwind up. I took that better than expected, so I could have went for the Boomburst Copycat, but of course, if they Brave Bird the Noivern, that's pretty bad. I get the KO? Oh, I double crit, it looks like. Yo, this Sylveon's not playing, man. That's a double crit. I was like, wait, Vessel Ruins up. Oh, I just crit. I might have still been in a better... I mean, I can't argue with this position, right? But Lilligant would have been nice because I could Hyper Voice threaten the next turn, threaten Sleep Powers, close combats on the switch. I had really good pins with the Lilligant, but Noivern, I guess, can Super Fang, though this might give them an opportunity to get Trick Room up, which might not be good for me. We're going to see Cresselia come in with Dialga. Yep. Okay. I don't know if this is Mental Herb on the Cresselia, but it might also be Goggles. So I'm just going to attempt a taunt here, and I'm just going to Hyper Voice, get the damage. Dialga protects, which is fantastic. If this is the... Like, this is not Mental Herb, I'm in a perfect position, basically. Nice. Nice. Now I can just spam Boomburst Hyper Voice. I'm not going for Super Fang because I don't have to go for it because I won't miss. And I think at this point in the game, I prefer not missing and getting as much damage as I can. So I'm going to go for Boomburst and I'm going to go for the Hyper Voice. We're going to see a Terra involved here. Who's Terraing in this position? Dialga? Dialga does Terra. What Terra do you have? Terra Fairy. Okay, it doesn't change anything. Okay, beautiful. I mean, it means I can't close combat anymore, but... Granted, the Cresselia can't go for Lunar Dance. This works out pretty well. I get a huge amount of damage to their team with the Copycat and the Boomburst. And Sylveon going to be like the Costco guys. Bring on the Boom. That did a lot of damage, actually. That did do a lot of damage. Sylveon gets knocked out, but it has done a huge amount of work. Noivern probably going down here unless they don't have an attacking move. It's Dazzling Gleam. That's fine. Oh, it didn't even KO. Leftovers Dialga, sure. We go out into the, I guess, Groudon, because Groudon just KOs the Cresselia with Heat Crash, I assume. Like Lilligant probably KO'd with Leaf Blade too, but I mean, I guess I just go for a taunt into the Dialga and I just go for a Heat Crash into the Cresselia. Cresselia definitely goes down to Heat Crash. And if Dialga protects, like, you can't do anything about it, gonna be forfeit. Oh, Sylveon. You know, spread fairy type moves, they're very powerful. What's even more powerful? Crit on a super effective attack through Vessel Ruin. Look, I didn't mind when Noivern went down. I think I still had a good position, but it gave us a pretty good Boomburst to play around with. And I think Groudon would have been in a good spot. I think Lilligant again could have put on a lot of pressure, especially with the Sleep Powder threat. Might have been Terra. It might have been Safety Goggles on the Cresselia, but I can still threaten a huge amount of damage. I can always threaten this offense with Groudon still anyway. That's healthy, and I don't see how they're eliminating the Groudon quickly. So I don't think it would have been that bad, but... Yeah. Tatsugiri cheat you with the Dundozo, Dragonite, Golden Go, Miraidon. This is a team that got top 8 at the World Championship, and Dundozo. That's pretty rough. That's pretty rough. I do have Miraidon, Groudon, which is decent. I'll say decent here. I do have Noivern though. Noivern's actually pretty good because Super Fang pressure is actually really good. Am I bring the Raging Bolt is the question, or am I bring the Lilligant? Lilligant is probably better. So here's the thing. Leaf Blade can crit, which is actually kind of beneficial. It's gonna be so tough. I am bringing speed control, so I might not need Lilligant. Because I was thinking like I might need Lilligant for pressuring with After You. But I think I'm gonna go with Instant Groudon as the lead. In the back, Noivern, and in the afterward, I think I'm gonna go Raging Bolt. This might be a big mistake though. We'll see. Sylveon's like okay, but it's not incredible in the matchup. Hyper Voice is just, it's like good into some stuff, but not really good into the others. But we'll see. I'm like, okay, I need Super Fang Noivern to beat the Dozo, and I need the Speed Control Golden Go plus Miraidon. Interesting here. All right, that works. It should be Dundozo Tatsu in the back, right? If it's Dundozo Tatsu in the back, I just click Fake Out Precipice Blades. Kinda wish I had. Do I care if I take a big make it rain? Not really. I think I just Fake Out Precipice Blades and I don't Terra. I was thinking like, should I Terra here? And I think it's fine not to. Save it. We're gonna see the Miraidon retreat. This might be just Dundozo Tatsu straight up the board, and that's fine. Yeah, Dundozo comes in. Okay. Wow, that's greedy. Oh, they trick for the specs. Okay, I had Assault Vest. I'll take it. Choice specs, they get an Assault Vest, sure. I get the Precipice Blades off into the Dundozo, and I KO the Noivern. Okay, not terrible. Not terrible. Not great, but not terrible. The Dozo did take a lot of damage. Miraidon coming back in is the scary part. But then again, this is Assault Vest and not specs. I wouldn't be surprised if this is Volt Switch and Incin. Are they gonna Draco to Groudon? I feel like it might be a bit obvious. I'm gonna play something funny. I'm gonna see if they decide, hey, I'm going to Volt Switch to Incin and Earthquake or Wave Crash with the Dundozo, which would normally be a safe play, but it's not in this case. They decide to go for Terra Fairy. Okay. So that means Dozo can't Terra anymore. And if the Miraidon takes damage, it is vulnerable to Thunderclap in the future. We protect our Incin. Please Volt Switch into that slot. Got him. So I get even bigger damage with the Precipice Blades into the slots, which is incredible. Nice. Yeah, like look at all that damage I just built up. And they have to Earthquake their own Miraidon. Yep, I called it. Protect Incin coming in big here. Oh, that's so huge. All right, you can only KO one here. I'm gonna Parting Shot the Dozo, because this is probably still Volt Switch and Incin. No, they Draco Meteor. That's fine too. Okay. Wow, Groudon surviving regardless. Doesn't care. Just fires off of Blades. Goodbye, Miraidon. Goodbye, Dozo. That's crazy to me. I didn't expect to live Draco Meteor after the chip, but Groudon just did not care. It did not care. I was just building up damage, bringing my Noivern when I had the opportune time. Get the Tailwind up, Raging Bolt set up to win the game. Not what happened, though. That is not what happened. Tatsugiri comes in. I mean, we're locked in the Precipice Blades. I want to keep the sun up, and doesn't really matter. I'm gonna Parting Shot out the Tatsu and Precipice Blades. That was gonna be forfeited. Yeah, like they didn't really have much of a way to win there. If they lock in a money, if they, what was it? I know that it was Focus Sash Chiyu. I know the Miraidon's Assault Vest. I know it's Choice Specs Gold. Choice Band Dragonite. Was it Choice Scarf Tatsu? Or was it Focus Sash? I can't remember. Either way, like the combination of Raging Bolt plus the Noivern was still good enough to win. And I also saw Terra available, so I would have needed, there would have been a lot of things that had to go wrong for me. Tatsugiri, Whimsicott, Qianpao, Dragonite, Calyx, Shadow Rider, and Dondozo. Okay. So this one is Calyx Shadow Rider with this build. Huh. It's probably just instant Groudon lead, I think. Yeah, I just want to lead instant Groudon, I'm pretty sure. The back is questionable, however. I think I want to bring Noivern to help out against Dozo. The question is, what is my partner here? Do I want to go Sylveon? Hyper Voice doesn't do bad damage. Raging Bolt's not awful. I'm just worried. Well, the thing is, I think the most scary combination would be like what? Dozo combination plus Qianpao Dragonite? If that's the case, there's no Calyx Shadow Rider, which makes it a lot easier. Do I want to force the Terra? I think I have to bring the Raging Bolt, as much as I kind of want Sylveon because it puts on more pressure against Pal Knight, especially the Pal. But Instant should be helpful enough. I don't know if I don't know who I'm tearing in this matchup. I think it really just depends. Maybe Instant. Pal Knight leads. Okay. Versus Groudon Incineroar. Okay, are you multi-skill Dragonite or are you Inner Focus? I wouldn't be surprised to see Inner Focus on this team. Okay. Intimidate goes off into POW, and the Dragonite is Inner Focus. Okay, good to confirm. And I don't have a single way. Yeah, this is what I was fearing of. There's not really a great way to damage here. It might not be Dozel in the back. It might be Cali Wims. If it's Cali Wims, I gotta really watch out here. But there's no way you ice move the Instant. But do I parting shot here, or do they Stomping Tantrum? I think my best play is just to go for a Heat Crash into the D-Knight and parting shot to D-Knight in case Pal protects. I wouldn't be surprised to see Terra Ghost either, but looks like they didn't Terra, so I might be able to get good damage into the Dragonite at the very least here. Still really concerning about how this is gonna go on, but we'll see. Air Fire. Pal protects. Okay, nice. I get good damage into Dragonite. I get a parting shot off too. Did they Stomp Me Tantrum the Instant? I feel like they did. Heat Crash. That almost killed the Dragonite. That's insane. Oh, the crit. I was about to say, there's no way that did that much. Low kick coming out into Instant. Doesn't KO, but all right. I get a parting shot off into the Dragonite. I mean, I don't think this is that bad. Yeah, I don't think this is that bad. It's definitely Choice Banded Dragonite. I can go out into Noivern or I could go out into Raging Bolt. I think I always go Raging Bolt here. Because with the Intimidate, Bolt lives at Icicle Crash. I can go for Precipice Blades and a Thunderclap. This covers Dozo coming in for a slot. Yeah, I mean, I just don't see a reason not to. I'm going to Precipice Blades. I'll risk it because I need to hit the POW anyway. I could Thunderclap. Yeah, no, I like the Thunderclap idea into Dragonite. And by Dragonite, I don't have to worry about a low kick coming in my way. And then we miss the POW. We get a double power Stomping Tantrum, which isn't bad. Ice Spinner coming out. Okay. Raging Bolt absolutely eats that up. We're able to get our Citrus Berry, which is fantastic in this spot. Because we'll live another Ice Spinner. And then here comes the Precipice Blades. And we connect. Beautiful. All right, who's coming in? Should be, yep, Calyx. Okay, so it's not Dondozo, but this works out pretty well for us. Heat Crash should knock out the Cali, and I'm going to go for Thunderclap also into Cali. As last Pokemon, unless it's a Geary, Tatsugiri, or solo Dondozo, which I think is fine for me, I just always double up the Cali here. So we're going to go for Heat Crash, and we're going to go for a Thunderclap. What's nice is we do have the Okay, so power switches out. This should be into Whimsicott like I'd expect. Yep. I don't know if Cali has protect or not. I'm just not baiting on the specs here. Okay, they do have protect. I mean, it comes down to the Whimsicott set. I don't know. Helping Hand, I think we'll live. Helping Hand, Terra Ghost, Astral Barrage. Fake Tears is the only one I'm scared about with Terra and Life Orb, but we'll see. Still gonna go for Thunderclap, Heat Crash. Actually, maybe I should have greeted this play. No, they did have Fake Tears. They tried to Raging Bolt? Interesting. I think they guarantee lose then. I get the KO into Cali with the Thunderclap. Let's see how much Astral Barrage did, because this is the important part. How much did it do to Groudon? Okay, so they needed Terra Ghost specifically there because they weren't KOing my Groudon. I had a Assault Vest. And it looks like they didn't have enough firepower. It was Life Orb. It needed to be Life Orb, Terra Ghost, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Cali's like Terra Normal on this team. So Fake Tears actually didn't change anything because I was Assault Vest. I guess it technically does change the end game, I suppose. Because oh goodness, I could still theoretically lose this. I'm still going instant regardless. Out comes in. We know the POW was, there's no way it's not Focus Sash POW. Bring in the instant. I mean, if they did actually go for the Fake Tears into Groudon and Astral, I guess it depends on if Raging Bolt surprised the Astral, which I kind of doubt. Maybe I should have sacked Noivern, but I wasn't going to play around the Calyx Shadow surviving, and it wasn't Life Orb. We'll go for a Heat Crash into Whimsicott, and I think go Noivern. I don't want to fake out because I do expect Terra Ghost, and I don't want Instant going down this turn. And I can get a second Intimidate if I need to. I think I always go for the KO on the Whims here. Yeah, in case they protect. Beautiful. This is probably Moonblast into the... oh, they targeted Groudon to get the chip, which is understandable because they do need the chip into Groudon if they want a sliver of a chance to win the game. We will go for the Heat Crash. Whimsicott goes down. Beautiful. Okay, I don't know if I have a guaranteed win because they have not used their Terra. I'm so scared. I felt like if you had Ghost POW, you should have went for it by now. But you never know, man. I'm going to Heat Crash the POW. Look, if it's Ghost POW, I just lose if they crit me. Okay. I don't think it's Ghost POW. But then again, they didn't know. They didn't know. So I think that's fair. I guess I should have Boombursted that turn. I should have. I was worried for some reason they would Terra Ghost to POW, crit sucker into my Groudon, which I don't think KOs the Groudon. I really don't. And then I Boomburst, do the extra damage to the Groudon to KO it officially, if not. And then I just lose because Instant doesn't outspeed the POW, and it's my only way of hitting through Terra Ghost. But that's kind of silly because they don't know I have Boomburst, most likely, unless they knew the team, but probably not. They would have probably went for a Fake Tears into the Groudon slot. It's still surprising they went for Fake Tears into Raging Bolt, though. I wonder if that's a misclick because you saw a Citrus Berry, but maybe they were just really scared because they saw how bulky, I guess, I took the Ice Spinner from the POW, so that maybe they thought I was living the Astral. Koraidon, Fluttermane, Xianpao, Incineroar, Rillaboom, and Whimsicott. All right. Koraidon versus Groudon is always super interesting. Terra Fire, though. What are their ways to hit fire types on this team? I don't see any. I think Assault Vest Groudon gonna do some work here. Unfortunately, there is the Insane, which is kind of annoying, but otherwise, like, this is a pretty dang good spot. I want to lead Lilligant Groudon though, or do I want to lead Instant? I'd probably just want to lead Lilligant Groudon actually. Do I? Instant's nice. It's unnecessary. It's not technically necessary. It's Especially when Koraidon's definitely gonna be brought. I feel like Whimsicott gets brought. I think Pal gets brought. Although if it's Pal, I'd probably want Instant. I was thinking like, can I bring Sylveon? Sylveon forces a Terra from the Koraidon, which is pretty big. But Noivern's actually pretty good against everything that isn't the Flutter Mane and Xianpao. But I think it's pretty hard to set up. And I don't think I need Tailwind in this game. So I think I'm going to bring Instant. I think I'll play a slower passive game. Yeah. Because the problem with Noivern is I can Tailwind. But that's kind of it, realistically. I don't really need the Super Fang because most of my mons are just getting KOs right off the bat. So I'd rather play a slow defensive game and keep Groudon healthy as much as possible. We're going to see Flutter Mane and the Rila versus Lilligant and the Groudon. Okay. I'm always tearing the Groudon. I don't care if I lose Lilligant realistically. What booster energy are you? Speed. That makes it easier for me. Okay. I'm just going to Leaf Blade the Flutter Mane and I'm just going to go for Heat Crash. Like, I don't see a problem with this unless Flutter protects for some reason, which when you have Fake Out on the board, like I really can't see you not going for anything that isn't Fake Out into one of these slots. I could see you thinking of the Terra Ghost potential threat of the Lilligant, so I could see you going for Fake Out on the Groudon to guarantee the Fake Out. But I don't see, like, if I had to sack, if we trade Flutter Mane for Lilligant, like that's one of their biggest ways to hit Groudon, just eliminated. I think that's completely worth the trade-off. So we'll go for the Terrifier with Groudon. This also covers like Woodhammer, Grassy Glide. If they got the Lilligant, which is sure, I am completely okay with that. We won't be taking much damage from Gleam at all. Yep. And we should be getting rid of a Flutter Mane here. And getting rid of a Flutter Mane is a pretty massive knockout here. Unless it's Focus Sash, but if you're Focus Sash, that's not too bad. Because that means Flutter's just not really doing any damage to my team, so I'm both okay with that. Yeah, I just KO'd a Flutter Mane. It really shouldn't matter. Like, he crashed just a lot in the sun. Because Flutter Mane pretty light. Alright, beautiful. This is instant always, because I can threaten the Koraidon with Fake Out. Yep. I'm debating about going for Parting Shot, but I think my best play is just to Heat Crash. Is it Heat Crash the real or is it Precipice Blades here? I want to always save the instance. I think I always go out into Sylveon. I think it's Blades here. I want to say it's Blades. It's either Blades or it's Heat Crash, but I could see this being instant for them swapping into. So you know what? I'm going to Blades. They didn't switch to Rila, which is unfortunate. If the Rila's faster, my Groudon goes for U-turn. This works out for me. I don't think they ever would hammer in this position. Unless they Terra Fired the Rila, which I guess could make sense. They Terra with the Rila? Yep, perfect. Okay. So Precipice Blades was the right call. Terra Poison, that works out even better for me. Well, it's the same. It's the same here, I guess. Oh, that's really bad. Why is it Source Dance? A U-turn, which is fine. Ooh, that Koraidon's actually going to do some damage. That Koraidon's going to do some damage. Instant? Wait, pow! That makes it... That's nice for me, actually. That's nice. Please hit. I think I missed... Okay. I mean, I don't think this is that bad. They used their Terra already. I think this is just... Because they used their Terra already, Koraidon can't Terra out of Hyper Voice. They can only get a knockout. They can only get one knockout here. So I think I'm just free to go for Precipice Blades and Hyper Voice. And I get a KO always. Assuming I connect, of course, and I don't flinch to Icicle Crash. Come on, we're in a really good spot here. We're in a really good spot. Koraidon protects, that's fine. You go for crash into Sylveon. That makes sense. Someone takes that pretty well. Precipice Blade's gonna come out. We kind of need to hit. Oh my goodness. I hate this mon, man. You can't be serious. Oh my goodness. I don't have quick attack. Get the throat spray active. Unless Koraidon doesn't knock out Groudon, so I have two plays I could go for here. One, I could hope that Incin. I think I go down to the Sword of Ruin. I think I just gotta Hyper Voice Precipice Blades and just hope that I KO, right? I was thinking go Incin for the Groudon, intimidate the POW, and pray I KO. How many turns does Sun are left? 2. Actually, no, I think I... You know what? I'll risk it. I'm gonna go Incin. I was debating, okay, what's the odds of me taking the collision course at +2 with Sword of Ruin? I don't know how high it is. I'm gonna try to go Incin here and Hyper Voice and hope that I live to crash. Wait. Drain Punch. Oh, it's not collision course. Wait, I don't mind that. I think. Wait, this is still kind of annoying. Okay, Sun is going to go away, which is good. That decreases the power of the Koraidon's attacking power against my Groudon. So maybe Groudon can still win. But man, this is going to be so rough. I'm trying to think. I think Koraidon always protects here to get Rila in safely. I'm just gonna fake out the POW. Wait. They risked a Koraidon here? I could have faked out Precipice Blades and been in a pretty decent spot, I think. Because if I fake... Like, I don't think the POW surviving changed much for you. Like, I did it because I need extra damage, and I thought you wouldn't risk your Koraidon, which is your win con. Crit. That actually still does some pretty good damage, actually. Unfortunately, I do not think I can win now, though. I needed to fake out Koraidon. I thought Koraidon was just always going to protect there. You sack your POW, make POW go down. Rila comes in for free, gets fake out pressure into my Groudon. Then you could like fake out the Groudon, Drain Punch the Incin, and you would have been fine. Or you could even Sword Stance with the Koraidon if you really want to. That's what I was thinking. And then I was thinking, hope I could catch him on a protect play. Like, that's what I was praying for, but I guess that's not going to work out the way I expected. Drain Punch. Yeah, I'm just going to go down to Grassy Glide, Drain Punch. Groudon. 2 blades miss. 2 blades miss. Sure, there were ways I could get out of it, but I don't know. I don't really agree with the risking the Koraidon there, but it worked out for my opponent. I think they could have still won even if like I faked out the Koraidon Precipice Blade. No, they would have taken so much damage. I guess they were just relying on Drain Punch for recovery. Unless Drain Punch gets a low roll and I crit the Koraidon. But even then, I just doubt it. Yeah. They crit me back. I wasn't going to have enough attacking power even for crit though after they got recovery regardless. But Groudon. 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 I guess I got a Stomping Tantrum too. There was like a world I Stomping Tantrum because I was missing the blades, but I might have had double power. I was not expecting the Drain Punch though. I was not expecting the Source and the Drain Punch set. Let me tell you that much. All right, let's go over to games. In game 1, I think this matchup's super rough. There's so many things that could just blow up my side of the field. The Regidrago, Rain Dance torn with Urshifu is always super rough. Alongside the Zacian, so many threats, but they had to choose what they could bring and only bring 4 of them. And luckily, that included not bringing the Zacian for some reason. So it made it a bit easier. However, it was still extremely difficult, and I definitely got bailed out by their greed of not targeting down the Sylveon, expecting it protect. And I was able to get a double knockout on Ogerpon Tornadus, forcing the Urshifu alone, and that ended up being a big deal. In game 2, this matchup's pretty rough, especially with what I ended up bringing, because the Water Urshifu was super difficult to deal with, and I was expecting to play around Terra Water Urshifu because I didn't bring the Raging Bolt or the Lilligant, which ended up being pretty difficult because Calc's Ice Rider next to Urshifu, super big problem. I also did have a problem where I forgot that Urshifu doesn't run Aqua Jet, so there might have been a turn where I could have went for like a Terra Ghost with Incineroar, went for a Boomburst Flare Blitz, but even then I don't think that knocks out the Calc's Ice Rider, so that could have still been a bit of problematic. And utilizing my Terra means that I can't Terra the Groudon in front of the Ogerpon, which still makes it a big problem. And if they got triggered by a Calc's Ice Rider, I could have just been easily swept. So I think I did have to rely on my opponent messing up a bit from what I ended up bringing, and luckily it just ended up working out. In game 3, man, my turn 1 was pretty good, and then my turn 2 was not so good because I ended up reading the Volcarona switch in wrong, because I thought Volcarona was coming in, but I thought it was going to be for the power slot, and then I thought it was Urshifu was just going to protect. That did not happen, and it ended up being really bad. Luckily, the Miraidon wasn't choice specs on this team for some reason, and I was just able to get a big double knockout on the Volcarona and Urshifu, and then Miraidon by itself actually wasn't able to win because they ignored my Groudon for some reason, even though it was Terra already in front of them. So I was able to get a huge knockout with the Precipice Blades and pick up the victory. In game 4, this team was just weird. They did lead double weak to the Sylveon, and I was able to throw off some pretty strong Hyper Voice damage. And then my Sylveon, for some reason, decided to get a double crit on their team, which ended up being fantastic for me because I was able to taunt the Cresselia and then go for a bunch of damage using the Copycat Boomburst strategy to clean up with my remainders in the back. In game 5, done Dozo stuff, and I did punish a lot of their greed. I was just kept going for Precipice Blades, and because it wasn't Choice Specs Miraidon, it didn't have the damage output necessary. Alongside Protect and Incineroar being really good to protect on the Volt Switch, I was able to get massive amount of damage with Precipice Blades and just sweep their team from there. In game 6, another Dondozo, but thankfully they didn't bring it this time. I was able to focus down the Dragonite pretty early without losing too much, and with the Groudon still healthy, it felt pretty good. I also realized why they didn't fake Tears to Groudon. They didn't see my item at all, so they didn't know I was Assault Vest and not Clear Amulet, and decided to fake Tears to Raging Bolt instead. And that ended up being really good for me because I was able to one-shot the Calc Shadow Rider with a Heat Crash plus Thunderclap double up, and had a lot of health remaining to take care of the Xianpao and the Whimsicott remaining. In game 7, oh man, this one was strange. I had a really good turn 1 trade-off, and then it's just a Koraidon with such a strange set on this team with Sword Stance Drain Punch. Made a lot of plays, unfortunately did not get rewarded heavily. I kept missing blades on the Xianpao, which would have meant that the resources would have been down, meaning that they didn't also have the Sword of Ruin, which would have been pretty big for Koraidon's damage output. And yeah, it ended up being really tough because I did end up having to go for another read, got that mind game wrong, and then Koraidon was just able to beat me from there. Overall, the team, I mean, it's a very gimmicky team. I wasn't expecting to get too many Boomburst Copycat strategies, but I do think the Pokemon still are pretty decent. I mean, like Sylveon's still pretty heavy hitter. It still takes a lot from Surging Strikes, unfortunately, even in the sun, but that is the cost of running so much speed to outspeed Calc Shadow Rider, which can be a threat. But the Noivern, not bad actually. It was able to do quite a bit. The Super Fang Tailwind. I think the only thing that was a bit annoying was not being able to hit other than Boomburst, which could be annoying sometimes. Like if I wanted to get Air Slash, I think one of the Pokemon I felt like this team did have some struggle with is Ogerpon Heartflame combined with partners, because Sylveon's always threatened, Groudon is forced to Terra, and sometimes you don't want to Terra Groudon in stuff like against Terrapagos that do run it. So yeah, it can be very awkward, but overall, I think it was a cool team. If you do want to try it out, the rental code is on your screen. Hopefully it's still available by the time the video comes out. If you'd like to check out the details of the team and the creator, they'll be linked in the description down below. And of course, subscribe to the channel for more VGC content as always.